Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the STiKS EU. We're here again. It's about 3 or 4 weeks on a trot, so we haven't been cancelled. That's
We're
always a
doing
positive
well.
sign. We're doing well. We're doing well. And of course, as per usual, I'm joined by my partner in crime, the one and only EU scump, Tommy. How's it going?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. And of course, we're here with a new face, actually. For the last couple of weeks, it's been familiar faces and people who've seen on the show before. Now we decided to switch it up. Just wanted to add a little bit of a new face and get his perspective on the community. Is, of course, IGI Rampage. How's it going, my friend?
How's it going, buddy? All good, thank you.
Good. So, but the obvious question is, for people who don't know who you are, why don't you just go, give a very brief introduction as to who you are, what you do in the community, and so on and so forth.
Well, I'm Lewis, or Rampage. IGI first started out back in the day as a community-based thing, just for fun, just for me and a few others. It's run by Cookie. And yeah, basically it's just a little bit of fun between us all to start off with. Our first event, after a couple of years messing about in the original WGL, first event was I-51, and then we went to EGL 12 and EGL 13. Placements, I-51 was top 32, same as EGL 12.
Yeah.
EGL 13, we picked up a much better squad that finished top 6, and then went to the last Enter Pro and finished top 6 as well.
Of course, as you mentioned just there, you started out in the WGL, what kind of was a lot of people's stepping
A lot of people won't even know what it is.
Exactly, I was saying it's really bad because it was a stepping stone for a lot of people in the community. Yet I feel as if a lot of these new people kind of don't really understand what it was. But that was obviously known for its social side of things. It was kind of social. So how did the transition from being a social team where it was a couple of mates who kind of like just got together for a laugh to Descents where now obviously you're competing in the G20 League? How did that kind of happen? Just make a decision about it?
No, it was like I said, we just started for fun. Me, Cookie, and a few other mates, and then we picked up. We just decided we wanted to take it a little bit more serious, I suppose, and picked up another team during Black Ops 2 for like a youth team. It was, I believe.
Are you surprised of like how far you've come? Because obviously you say like you started off as just kind of a couple of mates, just gaming like most people start off of. Are you surprised of like far you've come in that time?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, that was. I suppose that was 5 years ago now. Because when we first started out, it was nearly 5 years ago. And yeah, like I say, we picked up a community team for Black Ops 2 that we didn't really do much with. It was just purely online. And then I suppose when Ghost came out, we really enjoy the competitive side of COD, and thought, why not just go in with a team?
It's very surprising because a lot of people obviously say Ghost wasn't that the best COD, and you just like, yeah, we really enjoyed it. It was great.
It was.
Hey, S&D and Ghost was good. I'm sorry, I don't care what people say. S&D and Ghost was fun.
S&D and Ghost was good.
Thank you.
But
don't care what you think, Rage. Don't want your comment. Just
Black Ops 2 was
don't even go.
so much better.
I don't even know. So obviously you mentioned about how you was picking up squads and so on and so forth. I think probably the highlight for you as an organisation was probably safe to say EGL 13. Obviously, I think you placed top 6. And what sort of roster was that?
That was AJMA's, Mover, Aegon, and Sed.
So yeah, it's quite a big roster. It's a little bit of a lot of those people, especially AJ, Mover, and to be fair, even Aegon, who's kind of like taking a step back by looks of things. But Mover's obviously, I think he's actually stopped as well. Or AJ, he was always kind of considered to be the best, obviously on the Freeco team back in the day, doing pretty well. So how did that kind of come about? Because obviously they were quite big names, and they still are quite big names. So how did they somehow randomly decide to join IGI, who, otherwise wouldn't,
I don't know really, to be honest with you. I mean, they was looking for an org, and we was lucky enough to pick them up. Yeah, it was just, I don't know, I suppose.
End of the story.
I suppose they see someone that they see a new org that was about, and whether they wanted to help out and push us forward, or whether it was just we was the ones that was lucky enough to pick them up, and they went and obviously done really well. So, maybe I don't know. Really, it was just fate.
Fate.
Very, very mystic.
Well, I mean, I think it's fair to say like where the organisation obviously started is just a couple of friends to where you've got now ultimately being in the Gfinity League is pretty awesome. For you, is there anything that has kind of been the ultimate factor of this, or as you say, was it just kind of fate? You've just picked up the players at the right time, got the placings you needed at LAN, and ultimately now a team that is recognisable as one of the best in the UK, and ultimately get a place in the Championship League for Gfinity.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really, I mean, obviously there's a lot of work that goes. A lot of people don't realise it. Just being, players don't really realise what goes on behind the scenes. It's just literally what goes on. Me and Cookie speak every day. Everything is discussed between me and him. We both put our input in.
Has it been like both of you from the start, or has there been any other people that have been involved and now maybe gone elsewhere out of the scene, or has it always just been you two kind of the centerpieces of creating what you have done?
Yeah, pretty much. It's mainly been me and James.
Awesome.
I mean, at the start there was a couple of others, but I mean that was at the very, very start, and we were just playing for fun. And James obviously started it up and got it all going, and then that's when I started. I came in pretty much from the start. I think I missed the first like 2 or 3 months, and then that was it. Since then, I've been here and I've been helping him and helping the teams, and just doing little bits here and there, letting him know who's available, letting him know who isn't, what teams to pick up or not to pick up, and just so on and so forth. Really, just I don't know. It's hard to explain, really. To be able to get, I suppose if you can, any team can go, any org can go in for any team. It's just whether that, whether, it depends on what the team's going to get out of the org.
Yeah, makes sense.
With a lot of things.
Yeah, because from my understanding, obviously Cookie's the owner of the team, and then you kind of take up the managerial role, should we say, kind of the team manager, and liaising with the team and so on and so forth. A lot of people probably don't know IGI too well. No discredit to you guys. So can you just kind of run through your players, what roles they play, to kind of give people a bit of a background of the org and who's actually representing your organisation at the moment?
Yeah. Well, our current roster is The Real, who is our main slayer. We have T Rob and T Ant, the twins. They're heel-based players. They're OBJ players, as well as Forgiven. He's our main OBJ player. That's basically the team at the moment. Obviously, we're looking to attend to Ant Pro, and obviously that's our team for the Championship League.
Yeah. Makes sense. I just wanted to touch on something really quickly. Obviously, your roster is 18 plus, with the Gfinity League being 18 plus. Did it used to not be 18 plus, or have you had like a struggle of finding players that have been 18 plus, or have you had players that weren't 18 plus and therefore you've had to let them go because of the league being 18 plus? Too many 18 pluses in there.
I mean, unfortunately, I think everyone's had a bit of a problem trying to find players that were 18 plus or are 18 plus. A lot of the community is 18 and under. And to find the players, if you want to get a group of players in, but when you obviously get the opportunity to go into something like the Championship League or the Pro League or anything to do with Gfinity, everyone has to be 18 plus. So unfortunately, the team, we did have a team before that included Harley, and unfortunately we had to drop Harley to.
Well, sucks because obviously
he doesn't turn 18 until the end of the month. Yeah. Which is a real shame because he's a very good player. So. I think everyone's, obviously the other thing with the Gfinity League, with everyone actually having to have 2 substitutes as well, a minimum of 6 roster.
Well, everyone's got to have it.
Every team has to have a minimum of 6 players.
Oh, geez.
2 substitutes.
So obviously, I'm your substitute.
Don't tell me this is true.
That would be amazing if it was true.
I'm just gonna slowly just
slide out of camera frame.
But no, I mean. It's very hard because obviously you've got all the other teams, teams that are more well known than us, and teams, players that obviously play with other players a lot more often. They take away the better players, should we say?
Yeah.
So it's hard
to find substitutes then.
Yeah, it's extreme. Yeah, it was very hard to find a couple of substitutes, and be happy with it.
So basically, rather than finding 4 players, you've ultimately basically got to find 6 players that are 18 plus. And as you say, with other organisations that are more well known, maybe have a better roster, it's probably quite hard. But obviously, you've been able to find 2 substitutes. What's the main thing? And you'll be participating in the league. Alex, do you want to kind of run down the other teams that will be in the league also?
If this is right, it's probably wrong knowing my luck. hopefully it's right. It's on the website, so it should hopefully be right. But you got XL Black, obviously. Joel's team, he comes on the show quite a bit. He's a STiKS fam friend. Fave Gaming, obviously the Dutch team. It's quite a massive organisation. I'm a little bit surprised not to see them in the Premiership, but it's the way it works, the way the cookie crumbles. Liquid Gaming, I believe it's a French team. UX Gaming, Spirit Gaming, Team Nightmare, I think it's Amazing Co, obviously was former IGI players. Then obviously IGI Esports. You guys, it makes sense that you'd be in the league, otherwise we won't be talking about the league. And then Levity as well to round things off, making it an 8-man league, just like the Premiership. So, again, we're going to see that format, very, very similar to the entire, but at least Premier League in the sense that's football for you Americans out there.
It's not.
We're obviously you have a Premiership, you have a Championship, the way it works. So it's pretty familiar. But one thing that actually has changed in like the last week or so of the show was the best of 6 format what they announced. Obviously, as MLG have kind of taken out CTF out of the rules and all that, and CTF has fell out of favour, G-Funny has followed suit. Makes sense, because obviously MLG are kind of like there. They make the rules, everyone else follows and changes it. What now means that best of 6 rather than best of 8. Probably for the best, because a best of 8 after about 4 maps, you're asleep in your chair anyway, because you're just too long into the night. So it's probably for the better that it's best of 6. And that obviously means CTF is taken out, so the rotation is going to be hardpoint, uplink, and search and destroy. I've got that right, I think. But Rampage, Tommy, thoughts on them obviously changing that whole thing around to the fence that it's now best of 6 rather than best of 8?
I mean, I personally, I didn't mind CTF personally, but none of the players wanted CTF, so it was taken out. The best of 6 obviously means that there can be a draw.
I want to talk about that in a second, actually.
Which I don't think. I personally don't think there should be a draw. I always think there should be a winner or a loser personally. But I suppose it's different. It brings something else to the actual. It's going to make a difference in the league. So instead of just having winners and losers, you're actually going to have draw points and maps for, maps against. And it's going to be run pretty much like a football league is. So it'll be different. But I personally think that it should be a winner or a loser. Myself.
Tommy?
Yeah. Just Jesus. I have to agree with Rampage. Like, I understand that they originally had it as like a best of 8, so that you play all the maps out, and ultimately at the end of the league, everyone will have the same maps played, maps lost, and so on and so forth. But there just needs to be a winner. Like, to think that a team that is, or what used to be, like, is 4-0 up could still draw, and now it's going to be obviously 3-0 up can still draw, is just ridiculous. But yeah, I think it should either be a best of 5 or best of 7, one or the other. And with them taking out CTF, they could have easily made it a best of 7 and just add in an extra S&D, kind of like what they're doing on the MLG side of things with their best of 7. So just have it like hardpoint uplink. I don't know how it works out, but it's like two uplinks, 2 hardpoints, 3 S&Ds. I think that would be a more ideal situation, so that you actually can have an ultimate winner rather than it being a draw. Because I get that they're following a very similar system to what obviously football used, the Premiership and so on in that terms. But I feel like in esports and stuff, I'd rather just have a definite winner rather than coming away and just saying, oh, well, we drew. But at the end of the day, it's something different. I'm open to it. I think it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Obviously, their point system is working differently as well, but it's exciting in general. I think this league's going to be really good. It's just, I guess it's just my personal preference. I would rather have it as like a best of 7 or a best of 5, where you have ultimately you will always have a winner.
Yep. Well, again, just got to echo it really. I mean, I kind of like the idea of it being a little bit unique, and it's more football based rather than MLG based. What I like, because that's original, and I like the fact that they're not just copy and pasting the MLG Pro League. I feel as if again, it's going to make it interesting, especially if you have that situation where last week of the Pro League, there's the 2 top teams are joint on places and joint on points, and then I'm hoping that'll happen. It probably won't. It'll just be one team what steamrolls for everyone, because they've got amazing connections. But in the ideal world, that would how it work, is obviously a title race. That would be amazing, but probably not going to see that, unfortunately.
You never know.
You never know, indeed. Exactly. Hopefully we do. Touch wood that it does happen. One thing I do actually want to kind of take it back a little bit, because you mentioned AmTu Pro. You're going to be attending AmTu Pro. But the last AmTu Pro you obviously went as well. One thing I really want to talk about is the jerseys and stuff, because as someone who's been on the management side of things, someone who's been as a player and has been as a caster, the jerseys of IGI are something special in the sense that they're simple, but they're consistent. Because I'm sure you can probably speak to it a little bit more, but there's a black and white colour scheme what's basically been the exact same colour scheme. Obviously, they might have had their altercations every now and again, but it's been the exact same colour scheme all the way through every single event. Was that deliberate? Because obviously you see some organisations who one event they have a red jersey, then the next event they have a blue jersey. Was it kind of a deliberate idea to go for this black and white branding, or did it just like, oh, we'll just they look all right, I guess they'll do?
Well, I suppose black and white, obviously the white stands out on the black. You know, anything that's dark, the lighter colour will stand out. So that was what we wanted to do with it. I mean, when we very, very first started, we had purple in it as well for some strange reason. And yeah, that's down to Cookie.
Just pass the blame on.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will. And no, it just made sense to make it the black and the white, and just to keep it nice and simple, and so that you can read everything properly instead of having, you know, graphics all over it and everything, you know, not being very easy to see and to read, and I don't know, supposed to stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about standing out and graphics all over the place, I swear you only have about 2 sponsors. What again is pretty unique for the whole esports UK, especially in the UK, because you know they have controller company, jersey company.
See, like
everything. So yeah. To the point where it's not even a jersey anymore; it's just like a billboard.
Yeah.
Was that also kind of a decision, you know, not to go for overly sponsors and just go for the sponsors that you think are right, or was it just kind of?
Yeah, it's mainly to do with what we think is going to be what's best for the org.
Right.
You know, not you know, not what necessarily looks the best, but what is best for the organisation as a whole. You know, obviously Nifty Mods for one and Trinomos for the other. You know, it looks a lot cleaner. It looks smarter to me to have. All right, yeah, I know everyone wants their sponsors to be on shirts and stuff like that. And that's fine. But when you've only got a couple yourselves, and yeah, as much as you know, you'd like to have hundreds of thousands like everyone else does, but we don't necessarily, you know, want it to look messy, should we say?
Yeah.
And we don't want our stuff to look, you know, we want to look presentable and professional and official. So I suppose that's where that comes in. It's just making the choice of who do we want, who don't we want, and where we're going to put it and things like that.
So basically, you're going for, rather than cluttered and get your name out there as much as possible, simple, sleek, and clean. Yeah, I like that. Talking about getting your name out there a little bit, I believe, I don't know, I saw this announcement a while ago that you kind of picked up a CSGO team. Is that still in the midst, or is that kind of...
Yeah, we have picked up a CSGO team, yeah. I mean, they should be attending events very soon, but we have picked up a CSGO team. They're just doing the ESL tournaments and things like that. And we've also picked up a Battlefield team as well, just recently as well.
All right.
On the PS4.
So what was the thing about that? Was it always an intention, you know, to branch out to different esports, or?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think every organisation has to. You can't just, you know, stick to one, or, you know, to one esport. It's impossible. You know, you need to get. Obviously, there's many different reasons. More sponsors come from from PC gaming. It's a lot more noticeable when you do well online and when you go for events. You know, there's many different reasons as to why you would get involved in other games. Obviously, of course, because you want your organisation itself to grow. You know, it's only going to grow if you branch out. It's not going to grow if you stick to just one game.
Yep, that's true. I believe we're actually going to probably take a break here, and then obviously when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Gfinity League with your predictions and, you know, your expectations and the overall Gfinity League in a bubble. So guys, don't go anywhere. Make sure, you know, you stock up on your tea, you get a drink, and while you're at it, check down below for all the sponsors, and we'll see you on the other side of a minute. Bye. Hey guys, and welcome back to STiKS. Hopefully you've stocked 20 tea, your coffee, your beverage of choice, and we're here once again. Guys, in that break, you should have scrolled down below and checked out the codes. Obviously, STiKS, 5% off Scuff, and then same code STiKS for 10% off G Fuel. Use them, G Fuel and Scuff, good products. Anyway, moving swiftly, I'm going to transition back into the league. We spoke about it briefly, but I didn't want to touch on it too much because I know that that's probably going to be the focus. the reason why we kind of thought we'd bring you on the show was because you was announced for the Championship teams. We've had, Premiership players like Marky B come into the show. We've obviously had Joel from XL come on the show as well. So we thought we'll give it another little bit of perspective rather than the usual faces, and that's why you're here. So you probably know a little bit more because I'm sure you get included in all these emails and you actually read all the information and stuff. So what is actually the format of the Championship? Because we spoke to Martin White about the Premiership, and the Premiership again was our main focus because at that time that's when it was all announced. So does it continue on a Wednesday or is it different days? How does it all work?
Well, as far as I'm aware, the first 2 games are on the Saturday and the Sunday.
Right.
I believe
switch things up.
I'm desperately trying to remember what day it was. And then after that, it's every Wednesday.
Okay, so it follows the Premiership, the Premiership sort of thing where it's every Wednesday. It's going to be league. So I kind of like the fact that you've done that. It's going to be consistent, and you play 1 game on the Wednesday, right? Or is it?
That's right. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Okay, so all the 8 teams. So it'll be 16 teams in total in the Premiership Championship, and then obviously you'll have however many divisions below that. I'm sure. Honestly, I'm not expecting them to get high numbers in the leagues, and we'll talk about that later on. But yeah, so obviously everyone plays 1 game, and then it goes every week.
Yeah.
What do you think as an owner is that format? Would you prefer it to be condensed into 3 or 4 games a day, or 3 or 4 games like a night, so the league's shorter, or do you prefer it when it goes on for 7 or so weeks?
I think it works better if it goes over a certain amount of weeks, purely because you can look at the games that you played previous. You can go over your strats, you can go over what people.
That's true, actually.
Someone done wrong, whether they didn't do it wrong. Also gives you enough time to prepare for the next team, to play for the next team. I think it's a lot better to go over a couple of weeks and playing 3 or 4 games, or even 2 games a night. If you get a bad loss in the first game, that will be still in your head for when you get into the second game. So, I'd rather it was. I like the fact that it's going on.
It's a lot better to take it match by match rather than just have one after the other and consistent maybe losses, etc.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of touch on. Obviously, we've had a EU Pro League before. We obviously had it back in Ghost. I think it was leading up to the Season 2 playoffs. What was that? MLG Anaheim last year, where obviously we saw the likes of TCM and Epsilon turn up. Obviously, that league wasn't a massive success, shall we say, because we didn't see a reoccurring league after that and so on and so forth. The viewership wasn't great. Some teams weren't turning up to play. It was a bit chaotic and stuff. So going into it this time, is there anything that you want personally to see Gfinity do that maybe they didn't do before? Is there anything that you thought about as like a team owner that they can do to help out teams? Because obviously coming into this, we want sustainability and structure within the esport, and we don't want it to go the same way it went last time, basically. So is there anything that you thought yourself that maybe Gfinity can do to help improve the league, unlike basically what they did last time?
Not really, no. I mean, they do a fairly good job, to be fair to them. Having to deal with all of these teams, players, having to send out emails every single day and, deal with this, that and the other. I mean, maybe it would be nice if instead of having, obviously I know a lot is seen to everything's got to be the Pro League, and I completely understand that that's their main league, but maybe do something special with the Championship League as well.
Yeah.
Push.
Rather than focusing just on the
instead of just focusing on the the biggest teams in the EU at the moment and things like that. Instead of that, then maybe help out some of the lesser known teams. Like
so that could maybe be like bringing the Championships teams down to London for. Because obviously for 2 weekends, both in 2 weeks' time, and I think sometime in I don't actually know where. I think it's sometime in July. They're actually bringing down all the Premiership teams, and they're having some EU Pro League matches there. So I mean, they could maybe I don't know how it works with logistics, and if they would actually have the time to actually obviously get through all the matches for both the Premiership and Championship. But maybe that's something as maybe a pointer going forward into the next league and so on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're doing regarding the relegation and promotion kind of thing, but maybe if those to do that at the arena itself, that would be actually quite a good thing for everyone.
Yeah, because you don't want to be facing like a Spanish team for qualification.
Exactly.
League. Yeah, I totally. I mean, like I think from reading about it, I think it's just simply the bottom 2 teams are relegated, and then obviously.
Oh, is it the bottom 2? Is it?
Or something, but like just to give an example, I think it's just. But I mean, what do you think about? Obviously, below the championship, they're trying to fill as many divisions as possible, and then ultimately, I think it's top 2 from each division outside of the championship and premiership will go into a separate tournament where they'll play for £1,000 and qualification into the championship. Do you think that's a really good step in the right direction, because it means it's basically not excluding anyone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fact that they're trying to bring everyone together as a whole, I think, is a much better thing to do. Instead of it being just everything's all invitation and stuff like that. The fact that you can actually earn your way to get there. Yep. You know, if you earn your way to get there, then you've got every right to be able to be in it as much as anyone else.
Yeah, of course. And I'm going to kind of put in here because, you know, Tommy's apparently got an ice cream van parked literally outside his window by the sounds of things. So, and now he's embarrassed. So, one thing I'm probably, this is where Tommy's going to lead on to, is we talk about the age gap and the fact that you have to be 18 to compete in this league. Do you feel as if it's going to hinder Gfinity in terms of the fact that they're not going to get 50 to 100 teams sign up? They're only going to get about 20 or 30 or so. Do you feel as if that, you know, is kind of shooting themselves in the foot? And what's your overall opinion of obviously it being 18 plus?
I mean, well, at the end of the day, as much as we all hate it, the game itself is rated as an adult game. So if you're sticking to what the game is supposed to be, then it's got to be 18 plus. As horrible as it all is, you know, and it's horrible for everyone it is, that's what it is. So with them actually sticking to it being 18 plus, I don't really think it's a bad thing. It also gives the younger players and younger teams more time to develop themselves as players, you know, and obviously maybe get, you know, picked up as a youth team by orgs and things like that. So I think it keeps the 18 plus players, you know, together, because within this scene there doesn't seem to be a lot of togetherness within teams, orgs. There's so many roster changes all the time. So I think maybe with it being like that, obviously, you know, you can't just walk out of a team that's in the league and stuff like that and join another one that's in the league and things like that. So with it being like that, I think it would just work out a whole lot better, personally.
Right, okay. I'm not sure whether Tommy's...
I'm back.
He's back,
Damn ice cream van, and people are... literally the loudest thing in the world. Like, I apologise.
It was perfect timing. So props to that. But going back a little bit more, you mentioned about how they're supporting the championship. You talked about the prize pool. I'm not exactly sure. I had it written down, but I believe I might have threw the piece of paper in the bin. I was kind of looking around as I was walking around. But the prize pool is also being split down into the championship as well. So the fact that the championship has a decent amount of prize pool, and especially if you get promoted as well, I think it's about, from what I can remember off the top of my head, it was about 1,500. Do you know any of the figures off the top of your head, Rampage?
I don't know off the top of my head, no, but I remember something about £1,500.
So obviously, do you see money as being an incentive for an organisation, especially the organisations like FABE, and who are kind of the bigger organisations? A lot of people would say, looking at the group, without even looking at the rosters, that, FABE's a massive organisation, they should have a big team, they're probably going to win it. Do you feel as if they know that's more of an incentive for some of these organisations to get a little bit more involved, rather than you just think, we haven't got an invite, that means let's just scrub them off and go play in another tournament?
No, I think money is a massive incentive in esports. Obviously, nothing comes for free. You know, you have to. You know, it costs money to get a team to an event. You know, the hotels, tickets, things like that. Everything costs money. So you know, it is a huge incentive for, you know, and obviously the players want a bit of money for what they're doing. You know, they don't want to do it for free. So if they're getting a bit in their pocket, do you know what I mean? I can't see that as being a bad thing.
It's a bit of an incentive.
Yeah, it must be a huge incentive. You know, if you're going to play for 8 weeks and you're going to earn a few £100 out of it, well, it can't be a bad thing. You know, you're earning money from free time, so...
It's true. Of course, E3 was kind of this weekend, and I saw someone mention in the chat, so I want to bring it up. I don't want to have, you know, a massive discussion for hours and hours about it, because if I wanted that, I'd look at Twitter. But I want to kind of talk about the...
We'll have a massive debate and...
the PlayStation, Xbox situation. Yeah, you know, I don't want to form, like, a UN emergency council meeting about it and just go on for hours and hours about it. But giving your thoughts, this can also go to Tommy as well. What is your opinions and thoughts, especially about PS4 now having exclusivity for DLC and obviously getting it early? What's your opinions on that? Do you see that the competitive team is going to follow suit, or do you suspect the competitive scene will stay on the Xbox?
I personally think that I don't necessarily think it will go to PS4. I really don't. Why spend so much time, so much money, and make so much effort doing it with the Xbox to then change it all of a sudden to the PS4? You know, right, PlayStation may very well sell the Xbox, but if it's been there for so long, you don't change what isn't broken.
That's true. That's always it's a good way to put it.
To me, but
it's the best like sort of motto.
As many people say, "Oh yeah, we're going to stay on Xbox. We're not going to go to PS4 and things like that." The scene will go where it goes. If the scene moves, the players will go. That's that is the way that I see it. If it goes, well, then we'll go over to PS4 as well. It's not a massive transition, but it is a transition that's something that everyone's got to adjust to. Mm-hmm. It's just how well people adjust and how well people don't. To me, personally.
Tommy, go for it. I can see on your face that you're wanting to rant. I'm sure you've probably already made a video about this, or you're making a video about this.
I actually haven't.
Wow.
I refrain because I just feel like everyone's,
One last time, we've got a Tommy Esports exclusive now. Go.
Right. So, I don't like the kind of the terminology of the scene is switching over, because basically the only thing that is official is obviously the fact that PlayStation, Sony have got a marketing deal with Activision to have the DLC first, and that doesn't necessarily mean the competitive scene switching over. But what I will say is, Sony, I mean, like, we have to remember that obviously the scene used to be on PS3 back in Black Ops 1. The only real reason it switched over was because obviously Sony, PlayStation got hacked for about 2 months. Everyone switched over, and various other reasons. So it has been on. We have had the transition before, but obviously with the scene being as big as it is now, it's a lot more complicated, should we say. And I think that the main people who are going to lose out or going to have the frustrations are obviously the amateur players who have just bought that brand new Xbox and then are going to realize that all the competitions are going to be on PlayStation. That's just hypothetically, obviously, but ultimately everyone's going to go where the money is. Neslo on the STiKS on Monday made a very good point in saying that he's not going to play all year on an Xbox to then have a $1 million tournament on a PlayStation. It's just not going to happen. So, and you have to realize as well that although MLG have partnered up with Xbox, with MLG saying that Xbox are the official console of MLG, ultimately I feel like Activision and Sony are going to have the final say, because Activision's game, if Sony have the marketing rights with them, then they're going to want all things to be on PlayStation. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if most things do switch over. I don't think it's going to matter really whether MLG are partnered with Xbox in stopping this happening, because as I say, Activision can just turn around and say, well, we're not going to let you have any tournaments with our game. So if it does switch over, I think the amateur players will lose out or suffer the most, because ultimately they may not be able to afford to switch over. So we may lose a bit of our community, but I think it's a good move. That's just my personal opinion. I think Sony will put in the time and dedication. They've done it before. And yeah, it'll just be a lot of hassle, I guess, is the word to use. And yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be good in the long run. But as I say, I think a lot of amateur players and stuff will be frustrated and annoyed because they've got to now go out and buy a different console.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of was also refrained from getting too excited about this, because I've thought about it in my head. I've conceptualized both scenarios, and yeah,
we could have Sony not even care about esports. We could not see anything from
that's
so who knows?
To be honest, PS4, Sony, it's pretty obvious if they're going to have a DLC exclusivity and you have the rights to market, I assume they're going to have champs. That's kind of a safe bet to say that if they're going to have it, they're going to do it properly. They're going to have a champs.
Well, Xbox aren't anymore. You can guarantee that.
Well, that's it. I mean, there's always that speculation of how there's only a 3-year deal and so on and so forth. That 3-year deal has ended.
Yeah.
Sony all of a sudden pops up going, "Hi, we'll sort it out for you." And again, I don't know if you can remember, but champs was heavily based on promoting DLC. Obviously, with the whole drift situation, every single advert there was buy this DLC, buy this DLC. So
I still don't agree with.
It's definitely it's definitely like a marketing campaign. It's safe to say that, and of course, it's a lot of money to be invested in. What's a little bit weird that Xbox would invest so much money, and then after a set period, what happens to be 3 years, they just go, okay, it's your turn now. We'll just step back and let you play. So it's kind of unusual. I wouldn't expect Xbox to do that, but again, there's a reason why they're probably wearing a suit on a very nice salary, making these decisions while I'm sat here in this room. So obviously, they obviously know more about it than me. Sony, again, probably a smart decision. As you mentioned, Tommy, the amateur community is probably gonna hate it.
They're the ones that are going to be the ones that we need to focus on, because we all know that pro players can easily. They probably already have, most of them probably already have PS4s and stuff. So yeah, I find it kind of ironic as well, because if the scene does switch over, let's bear in mind that also at E3 they announced the Elite controller for Xbox, and that's primarily going to be for the games like COD, Halo, and so on and so forth. So with that coming out, and if everyone does switch over to PlayStation, then it's a bit ironic to think that they've brought this out for FPS basically, and they're not even going to be around anymore, if you will.
We've got Halo, like competitive Halo.
Yeah, Halo 5. I think that'll be good, but that's another game.
That's another game. That's another topic.
Game.
So we'll get to that topic after this short break. So again, guys, see you on the other side of. I need to say stop saying a minute, because Golly gets mad at me. It's 90 seconds, okay? 90. It's very specific. So we'll see you on the other side in 90 seconds. That's just enough time to fit that kettle on, boil it, pour it in your tea, sorted. Go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the STiKS EU. As you can see, Rage looking very happy. I think we need to get to a point where Rage wears that hat that is mystically just on the wall. But
impossible. It's glued.
We just wanted to kind of, I guess, this is kind of an open show in terms of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk a little bit about Black Ops 3, obviously with E3 happening as we speak. There's a lot of information coming in and out, news and breaking news and stuff like that in regards to new games, and obviously one of them is Black Ops 3 that we Goldie's having a go at me because I forgot to mention the codes. Are you sure? Okay,
yeah,
okay. I know Rage is having a go at me.
Definitely Goldie who was having.
I don't want to spam the chat and the viewers of the STiKS with the codes. They know if they want a scuff controller. They know the codes, okay? But anyway, going back to Black Ops, obviously we had the multiplayer reveal 2 days ago, I think. I don't know if you guys got to see it. Rage and Rampage?
I didn't personally.
I do, but this is going to be a very quick topic.
Okay, great.
But mainly the reason for why I didn't was because everyone speculates about everything when the first time it's seen, things like that. And everyone says everything about it and blah, 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 blah. And then you don't actually get to see anything properly until later on. So I mean, there's a few things, bits and pieces that I look out for, but, COD-wise, from what people are saying, it's slightly similar to Black Ops 2, if I'm right from what I've been reading. If it is, brilliant. Because as far as I'm concerned, competitively, that's the best game that there has been, by a very, very long way.
I think we can all probably agree to that. Okay, this is going to be quite hard if you guys haven't seen the multiplayer review.
I have seen it.
Oh, Rage has. Okay, we've got a bit of life here. It's not like we're talking about COD esports here, but anywho. So the Black Ops 3 reveal was at obviously E3. We talked about how Sony are going to be getting the marketing deal for the first time in, I think, the history of E3. It wasn't Xbox revealing the new Call of Duty game. It was, in fact, Sony. If you saw it, Rage, what are your kind of impressions of it? Chat as well. Let us know your impressions as well. If you've got any questions as well about it, we'll be happy to answer them.
Again, I've only really seen the trailer. I know there's gameplay out there. I've watched Mantrus, who obviously is out there at E3. I've watched his videos, but I've not really watched more. But from what I've seen, I feel as if the wall running and stuff is going to be quite interesting. They've hinted it. I've not really seen like a whole gameplay where it's just a guy running up the wall. So I don't know whether there's certain spots or whether it's, oh look, there's a wall. Let's go run up it Assassin's Creed style. So I'm not really sure about that, but it looks like from the map there's little blue areas, what are like certain spots or whatever where you can do sliding and stuff like that. The guns, they sound really good, as weird as that sounds. But if a gun sounds good, usually it means that it's good. Black Ops 2 Black Ops 2 had nice sounding guns, and that game was good.
Yeah, that's true. What I will say is, I watched, I think it was T Martin's gameplay, because obviously he's been at E3, he's been at the Treyarch Studios, and he got actually the lightning strike kill streak, and it sounded exactly the same as when you brought up the old lightning strike with the noise and everything. So I'm really excited for stuff like that. The score streaks or kill streaks, whatever, are relatively similar in some aspects. You talk about obviously wall running. Wall running is going to be a feature, if you did not know, in Black Ops 3. It's going to be exciting. I mean, I've seen gameplay of it. I don't think it's actually that bad. I don't think it really... It's just a different dynamic of ways to get around the map. I don't think it's really going to benefit people, if that makes sense. Obviously, in Advanced Warfare, I think one of the biggest problems and what puts casual players off is the amount of exo movement in terms of the double jump in, how you can do it literally every couple of seconds. But looking at Black Ops 3, the wall running isn't in any way going to kind of put the casual player off, because we have to remember that this game is mainly built for the casual player. And then obviously there's also the thruster packs. I don't think they're that bad at all, if I'm honest. They just help you. They gently kind of help you get up to elevated platforms. I'll say that much. As Rage is demonstrating. So I want to get your guys' opinion. From a point of view of, let's say, keeping Call of Duty alive, hypothetically, do we need to go down the avenue of advanced movement, or do we want to be keeping it very basic, standard, like we've seen in Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfares, and so on and so forth? Let's go with Rampage first, and then I want to get Rage's opinion.
Oh, personally, I much prefer the normal way of playing COD. No double jumping, no exo movement, no this, none of that. No, it's just because it brings another element into the game. You know, every player's got to adapt to it, and it's not all about gun skill anymore. It's now about the movement as well as the gun skill and things like that. Which is great, but me personally, I much prefer the normal way of playing COD. No double jumping, just running around, and it makes it more enjoyable as well for me, anyway.
Yeah. Just to basically echo what Rampage said. I mean, if you ask any pro or anyone in general what their favorite COD title was, it'd be Black Ops 2, COD 4, Modern Warfare 3. And obviously it's quite easy for me to say that because there's only been like one insane movement game, what was obviously Advanced Warfare. But there's a reason as to why they're the best, and that's because you're not on the ceiling half the time. You're on the floor, normal. And to be honest, I feel as if I feel as if this was kind of inevitable, because you can't really make the transition from Advanced Warfare, what it is now, where it's fully movement, you can boost to the left, you can boost any way you want, to back on the ground again. I feel as if that's such a hard transition to make. Going backwards, obviously they went going forwards fine, but going backwards it feels a little bit hard. So
why they put the little bit of thrust jumping.
That's why I'm thinking that's the reason why they included this wall jumping. That's why they included the thrust jumping, not so it's just completely backwards, because obviously you get the people for. As weird as it sounds, you're having people every year, every title, picking up this game. So if they picked up the game during Advanced Warfare, then they go back to this, they'll be like, what is this?
It's completely different.
Exactly. It's like, this is completely different. So obviously, I feel as if some things they've got to kind of keep...
they've got to, if they've kind of bring it back to the simplistic gameplay and movements, they can't just jump back. Because I think... I really feel sorry for Sledgehammer and just Advanced Warfare, because people wanted something different. Let's not be mistaken. Coming into Advanced Warfare, people were excited for this advanced movement. Some people weren't looking forward to it, but a lot of people, I think, were optimistic for a bit of change, and it's just not really worked out as we wanted it, because it's probably a bit too full on, shall we say. So let me ask you this. I think one of the biggest reasons Advanced Warfare hasn't been accepted in the way we perceived it to be is because the majority of people that play the game are casual audience, and the advanced movement is probably a bit too full on, a bit too much. Let's flip it around. Let's say the majority of the community were competitive. Do you think this game would have been received a bit better? And do you think that like the likes of Black Ops 3, what's going to have a bit of advanced movement as well, would be received a bit better? Or do you think it would still be the case where we want to go back to a more simplistic game?
I personally think we'd still want to go back.
Yeah?
Yeah. Purely, that's what everyone knows. That's what everyone enjoys. It's what everyone likes. It makes exciting.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it makes it exciting to watch.
Yeah, Rage makes a good point of obviously like how when people came into the Call of Duty franchise and the series, the game they started off with is most of the time the game they most enjoyed. It's because that's what they picked up first. That's what they enjoyed, and so on and so forth. So if they picked up COD 4 or whatever it be, they're used to that simplistic movement, will make sense. But obviously for people who've just picked up the game and the series in Advanced Warfare, it's a completely different kind of setting, shall we say. So I mean, the only reason I ask it is because obviously we have to think about the longevity of Call of Duty as a franchise, as a series, because I feel like they've got to the point where they're within a finite box. They're now looking for ways to kind of get out of the box, be a bit different, rather than just your standard Call of Duty. Otherwise, we will see sales figures drop. So I can understand why they've gone with this advanced movement. Is there anything you guys have in terms of suggestions and ways that they can get out of that box? Because they pretty much covered a lot of ground in terms of the series, in terms of doing co-op campaign, zombies, and so on and so forth. Is there any other avenues we can go down to kind of reignite the love for Call of Duty that people have?
Personally, to win back a lot of people, I think we should go back to what we all know and what we all enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily
rather than something new.
Yeah, rather than something new. I mean, rather than going for the advanced movement and things like that, yes, all right, Advanced Warfare, as much hate as it's got from me and many other people,
yeah,
it's not a bad game if you just look at it as a game. The problem with anyone that do with esports is you don't look at it as a normal game. You look at it as a competitive game.
Yeah.
So competitively, no, it's not the greatest game in the world. But, you know, to go forwards, I think you have to kind of listen to the people, as sad as that's really going to sound, right?
Yeah.
As bad as that's going to sound. But you do have to listen to what the players want, you know, or, you know, even if you could do something where it would be, you know, cost a hell of a lot more money, which is understandable, but if you was to have maybe one part of the title is for just purely for competitive.
Yeah,
then you
like a competitive playlist, like League Play and so on and so forth.
Yeah, or, you know, yeah, basically take out all of the bits and pieces that, you know, competitive doesn't use, and just put that into a game on its own.
Okay.
You know, instead, maybe,
just take it all out and put it in its own separate game.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be, you know, all right, yeah, it would cost a hell of a lot more money, but it would work. Because
you've got that Sony money now.
But yeah, but we get what we want, and the casual gamer gets what they want.
Do you not think we could just do that within the game we already have, so that we can have, like kind of what we have, where we have a playlist for casual players, you know, the likes of TDM, Free-for-All, Demolition, and so on and so forth, and then we have a separate playlist that we kind of already do have in terms of ranked or League Play or whatever it be called. I presume it will hopefully still be League Play in Black Ops 3. So we kind of are getting more towards that point. It's fair to say that since Black Ops 2, the success that we've had a lot more developer support. It's not to the point where we want it to be, but they're definitely implementing a lot more time in terms of helping us out. Because before Black Ops 2, we never had a CODcaster, we never had a World Championship. Obviously, we had COD XP, but that was a little bit different. So since Black Ops 2, we've seen time and money invested by Activision and Xbox. So we're slowly seeing, we're not just going to get there in one title, it's fair to say, but would you say we're moving in the right direction? And obviously with Treyarch, the work they did back in Black Ops 2, do you think we're just going to see more growth in terms of more features, more developer support?
Yeah, I definitely do think they will. I mean, because competitive, you know, in any esport is so huge now. You know, it's grown so much.
Yeah, in the last couple of years.
The last few years, COD itself has been crazy. You know, if you look at how much the scene has grown,
yeah,
it's unfathomable amounts. You know, it's just ridiculous. So, you know, the fact that they are getting more involved in, you know, Black Ops 2, when, you know, they made it as a competitive game. You know, and it worked, and it showed that it worked because everyone loves it, everyone enjoys it. So, you know, yes, the fact that they're actually getting involved with it is brilliant. They are moving in the right direction, but it just depends how long it takes to get to where where everyone wants to be. With it being a 3-year break between each game, I don't think helps massively, but. You know, obviously everyone has to have their go at making the game. So
that's how they make money effectively, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, it's not gonna change just by us saying, oh well, can you not just stick with one title for a few years, is it? So,
no, exactly. No, you know, you can't.
You just have to deal with it.
It does have to change each year to go with the newest game that's available. So
yeah, makes sense. Ray, do you want anything else to add to that?
To be honest, take out heartbeat sensors, take out those scopes watching see-through walls. Give me World War II and just like World War II, Modern Warfare. I don't want 2050. I don't want 2050. I just want, modern COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 without the noob tubes and the old heartbeat sensors. Just give me that, okay? I don't want, I don't want someone boosting around all over the place.
I
don't
want
heartbeat
sensors in Modern Warfare 2. I just used to
I am one of them that use
heartbeat sensor, scavenger.
Sit there in a corner. Wait for the beep.
A part of rage has just died after I said that.
I feel as if I don't want to talk to you now, knowing that you was a sort of person who would just sit there in a heartbeat sensor.
No.
Probably a silencer as well.
I wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I'm just trying to annoy you, if I'm honest. But
well, just give me World War II. Just give me modern. I don't want futuristically modern. I want modern.
There was a petition to bring back Modern Warfare 2 that got over 200,000 signatures, and it wasn't a case of just spamming it. You had to actually fill in your details. There's a proper kind of petition site, and it shows the love. I feel like
Modern Warfare 2, it's safe to say, was probably the game what brought a lot of people into this community.
Yeah,
it was a lot of people's first CODs, and obviously, as I already mentioned, typically people's first CODs are their favourite. Looking back, Modern Warfare 2 in general was probably my favourite COD. That was my first COD. Well, what it was, but it was the first one I really had on my own and I grinded. But then looking back competitive as well, Modern Warfare 3 was my first competitive COD, and that's probably the one I enjoyed most playing. So there's probably a correlation there between people's favourite COD and first. So I think that's probably the reason why Modern Warfare 2, there's a reason as to why, although it added a lot of its controversial issues.
Yeah, people always forget the noob tubes.
One Man Army, Danger Close. The list goes on, but apparently some people enjoys it, and that's probably it. A lot of people look back at, I remember those days where you used to spawn in on Search and Destroy, and the guy used to get a 5-piece from a noob tube. They were the days. You kind of look back at it and reminiscing, even though in truth, and at times it probably made people break a lot of controllers.
Yeah,
I think we should just have 4v4 Rust.
That's a horrible idea.
you can't have an objective other than kill the other team. So
that's true.
That's a horrible idea. High-rise Search and Destroy 4v4.
I think we're going a teeny bit off topic, but just to kind of bring it back, let's bring it back kind of more towards esports. Obviously, E3, a massive event. We'll obviously find out more things as we go along. To go back to kind of Gfinity in terms of the league, to kind of finish it out, let's get a bit of predictions, because obviously the championship, we've got quite a lot of good teams. I think it's very hard to predict, but let's see what everyone thinks and who they think will end up coming out on top of the championship if we can. So if we get Rampage's predictions first, then we'll get Rage's, and then I'll try to muster up something of my own.
To be honest, the championship league is a very, very open league. It is an open league. Anyone can win it. As much as I'm going to say right now, we're going to finish top. Right, we've beaten everyone in that league, as far as I'm aware, from what I've seen and what I've been looking at and things like that. So as far as I'm aware, we've actually beaten everyone that's within that league. There's no reason as to why we wouldn't win that league. Anybody else, Excel, Spirit Gaming, Spirit Gaming have got a massive advantage because they're the Spanish team, so they've got a massive host advantage. It could be anyone. To be fair, to be completely honest, it could be anyone. But I'm going to say we're going to finish top because we have no reason to be losing this and not to finish top.
Yeah. So who finishes behind you then is the question.
I don't care. They're below, so I don't care. As long as they're behind, I don't care.
Fair enough. Well, at least I guess you've got to have confidence going into it. You can't go into it thinking, we'll aim for third or we're aiming for second. It's good to know that you have confidence with the boys you've got on your team and going forward.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Why wouldn't I have confidence in them? Then we picked them up.
Yeah, you wouldn't pick them up if you didn't have confidence. Exactly. Okay. Well, Rage looks like he's doing some mathematical formulas on his pad or something.
I was just right. I literally just went through the rosters now.
I'm hoping he's going to come up with some ingenious formula of who's going to win.
Well, I'm a little bit good because my notes are in the other room of I know I have a lot of notes about players from Fabe and stuff, but from what I can remember, obviously Fabe, just looking at the rosters, are probably going to be my team to watch out for. I imagine they're going to probably be top in the groups because you got, according to the roster, is Torres, Gunneli, Kiwi.
Yeah, it's a good roster.
Those names don't really need much explanation behind them. A lot of people, especially in Europe, knows who they are. They're well established. They've been around for a while. Kiwi's quite new, from what I can remember. He's not been to many events, but he's proven himself. He's one of those players who kind of have crept through the woodwork and has just been consistently good. XL as well is kind of one of those teams. What in the UK as well, they've been quite dominant. You got players like Cons on there, for example, who he's kind of got a bit of a reputation for being a consistent player. Cambo as well. He's got, as much as teaming with Rez can, he's got a little bit of a reputation for being a good player as well. I believe Copley is a sub as well. Rampage being IGI, I'm sure you know a lot about Copley and being turned on and stuff.
Corner.
Yep. And then obviously, looking again, you got Nightmare. Again, looking at their roster, Aegon, Amaze, and Bizzle and Black. Those players, Bizzle, Black, and even Amaze has been around for donkey's years. Modern Warfare 3 times. Aegon's coming in a little bit new, but he's still a veteran of the community. Spirit, as you mentioned, they've got the connections, so that could be an unknown entity, just like UX as well. I don't really know much of those players on that roster, so for all I know, they could be amazingly talented players and could just sweep the floor of everyone and just not drop a map entirely. Don't really know. Levity, they've got Mac on there, who is a veteran of the EU community. He hasn't really played much since Black Ops 2, I don't think. So, yeah, I don't know what he's like. I think it was analysis for the EU champ, so I'm sure he knows quite a bit about the game. Just looking at that and taking that into consideration, Fabe's top. Sorry, IGI. And then, again, it's kind of a throw-up between XL, IGI, and Nightmare. I'm probably just going to say Nightmare, IGI, XL. So, Fabe, Nightmare, IGI, XL. That's my top 4.
Ooh.
Sorry.
So you're not sticking like Spirit in there with that Spanish host? Or
I mean, I don't want to
UX?
say host is a factor because otherwise, then people seem like.
Well, I mean, there's no shame in admitting it. We all know that connection is always going to be a factor, and with them having a Spanish host, what is a lot further than people I think realize, it's going to be interesting. But okay, Fabe, to take it for yourself, Rampage. You think obviously IGI are going to just sweep the floor of everyone, and you don't even care who comes second, because why would you at the end of the day? For me, I have to agree with Rage with Fabe. Gun Elite is just like the X factor for me. When I saw him play, I think it was like EU regionals, he was always putting up big numbers and stuff. He's a very, very consistent player and a veteran in himself as well. So for me, probably he will help Fabe ultimately go forward and end up winning it, hopefully. Hopefully my prediction comes true. And then after that, I don't have a clue. I would say it's a very even playing field. I don't even think like Fabe have like a clear advantage. I'm just going with them because I know that Gun Elite and the team they have done well and have proven themselves. Not saying that other teams haven't, but there's a lot of teams that could be in there. But as I say, if I had to go with one team that would win it, I'd probably go with Fabe just because of who they've got on that roster.
That was exactly what I was saying. Like, if you look at the Premiership, it's pretty easy to say Epsilon are probably going to be up there towards the top. Vitality are probably going to be up there towards the top.
Yeah, we had this discussion.
Infuse is going to be near the top. It's pretty self-explanatory. We've asked our guests before what's your predictions, and it's always been the same. There's not really a curveball in there. While if you look at the Championship, as I've said, like going on my predictions and yours, Fabe seem to be the favourites. There's a reason why. They've got that experience, and they're incredibly stacked as a roster. I mean, but below that, it's completely open. I mean, you've got a lot of players in there who has experience, be it years of experience, and you've got players who just have come from nowhere and started Ghosts, and all of a sudden they picked up a controller and they're a natural. So, to be honest, I think the Championship's going to be incredibly close. I feel as if it's going to be incredibly unpredictable as well. For all I know, I could be totally wrong and Fabe comes last.
I mean, as I say, the biggest thing for me is Spirit Gaming. I think that's like the dark horse coming into it. With them having the Spanish host, we don't know how they're going to perform. They also
play a lot different to what everyone else does.
Yeah, exactly. So that's true. Yeah, different countries have very much different play styles. They play S&D a lot differently, and it's very notable when it comes to online and on LAN. So, and they're going to utilize their hosts. They're going to know if they've got hosts that they can be aggressive, they can push things like people who have hosts normally do. So, they're kind of the dark horse for me. it's really gonna be interesting. I think it would be nice to have some of these matches on land, but the logistics of getting teams there and so on would probably be a lot harder than we realize. So we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
One thing what Rampage mentioned is the fact that they don't have a have like a gentleman's agreement. You know,
Yeah.
I've just done my research. They call it a Cabelleros agreement, according to Google Translate. That's gentleman's. So if that's wrong and I've offended someone's nan, I apologise. But according to Google Translate, that's right. Did my research. But yeah, they don't really have the gentleman's agreement in the sense that, you know, these UK teams will say, right, we're not using stupid stuff. Do we agree? A lot of them say yes because they don't want to get that reputation as that scummy team, so to speak.
Yeah.
So the fact that, you know, Spanish people, they can barely read English, so who really cares what they think about them?
You tweet them and they're like, what is this? What are you saying to us?
So, you know, why not? Like, you know, why not just bang on a UAV? Obviously, not a UAV, but you know what I mean. Why not just bang on, like, random stuff and hope for the win?
And whatever else it is that they use, and your IMRs and things like that. You know,
all the fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so all the things that. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with using them because it's in the rules. You can use. You know, you can use them. It's just that everyone knows. You know, well, I say everyone knows. Everyone knows that it's not enjoyable playing against it.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is obviously if you're a Spanish team, you're probably not going to agree to these random English people. Like, oh, we don't want to play that because they got to do everything to win. Because in Spain and in some of these other countries, you don't really get as much opportunities. They don't have Gfinities every night. What's, you know, £500 every night. So they need the money. Why not take it? Let's rock on an IMR. IMR and Spanish connection. That sounds horrible.
Amazing is the word. Amazing.
It's only amazing if you're the Spanish person using it.
Exactly, that's what I mean. No, it's awful. No, I think that it should just, you know, if everyone's making a gentleman's agreement about it, why not just take it out?
That's a story for another time. I'm sure we can rant on that.
Yeah, let's talk about it for another half hour.
Fair enough.
Right, and talking about that, I think we kind of got to the stage where we don't want to talk about too much because we'll just end up ranting on for hours and hours on end. I've got goalie moaning at me as well because he was up last night streaming, singing Frozen. He promised that he was going to sing Frozen today, but for whatever happened, he let me down. He let me down.
Promised?
So make sure you will tweet him at goalie. I don't know what I think that's his Twitter. I'm sure you'll find it.
He's got a beautiful voice though. You'll see him on some TV showbiz telly sometime soon.
Yeah, but STiKS is having a documentary, so make sure you check out for that. And in the process, while you're checking out for that, check the codes down below. But the way we usually end the show, Rampage, you're not really familiar with this. Tommy's obviously familiar with this when he's finished having his conversation. We kind of leave you a minute, 2 minutes. You can have 5 minutes. Obviously, you probably don't have 5 minutes because I'm sure you've got places to be. But why don't you just talk about any final shout-outs, any thank yous, any last says? Now's the time to say it. Off you go.
Just a massive thank you to Cook. Obviously, he's the one that started it all out back in the day. Shout out to the team, DeWill, T-Ant, T-Rob, and Forgiven. Shout out to our sponsors, Nifty Customs and Tyrannimus. That's about it, really. I mean, like, you know, anyone else that follow us, hello, thank you. You know, it's not really a great deal that I can do. We don't have that many followers, unfortunately, at the moment. So, you know, hopefully now we'll have a lot more support behind us.
Well, obviously, when you win the Gfinity Championship and then win the Premiership, so you go back-to-back Championship Premiership, you're gonna increase that social media presence.
Someone's got to do it at some time. It might as well be us.
I love that attitude. Tommy, any final closing words?
Yeah, just a massive thank you to Rampage for coming on. We like getting on maybe guests that people aren't so much familiar with, but obviously we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on and talk about the championship. Obviously, we've talked heavily about the Premiership over the last couple of weeks, so it's nice to get the perspective of a team that's actually going to be in the championship. We obviously wish you all the best going forward in the championship. We hope that your dream does come true and you do win the championship followed by the Premiership, because I'm honestly...
It's not a dream, it's a reality.
It is.
Okay.
Positive thinking.
I mean, all I'm saying is, with two twins on your team, there's got to be some telepathy there or something.
I've never thought about that before.
There's got to be some cheating. That's all I'm saying. If you win, I'm going to be wanting some tests done. So, but yeah, thank you for coming on. My name's been Tommy. We'll see you next week, as always, with another guest and another show.
I've never actually thought about that. That is.
I mean, I'm a twin, so
I know
these
you're a
things.
twin. That's what I'm
So-
thinking. So if anyone wants to pick up Tommy, he's got like some telepathy hacks apparently. Well,
Yeah.
it's apparently like only twins have. So Tommy's a
I
free
know.
agent. Just Tommy's twin will be in. Sort of just have a team of twins or a team of
Yeah,
quadruplets.
sign
A
me
team
and
of
my twin up,
quadruplets.
get rid of
All you
your
need
other
to communicate.
players, and we can just have a twin team.
Oh wow! No, a quadruplet team where it's just like four. Oh my god, the communication with T1. Anyway, before we start rambling off into another topic, time to close down the show, guys. Check out the codes down below. STiKS for 5% off Scuff, and then STiKS for 10% off G Fuel. Got it wrong. And as always, we'll be here next week, same time, same place. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Awkward wave.